Every once in a while, a game trailer comes out that makes me want to buy the game immediately upon launch. Admittedly, this doesn't happen very often for me for modern games. I feel like the golden age of gaming has come and gone, as modern day releases just don't hold the same hook into me. At least, not for the most part. But now and then I get surprised with something that I absolutely must play, and Mouse PI for Hire is one of those games. It should really come as no surprise. I absolutely love both the gameplay style and visual theme of Cuphead, a game that thematically looks sorta similar in their older cartoon animation styles. Sure, that was a 2D run and gun, whereas Mouse PI for Hire is a black and white, Noir-inspired FPS. So yeah, after seeing the trailer, I absolutely wanted this one, and so here we are. In Mouse PI for Hire, you play as Private Eye Jack Pepper. The opening parts of the game act as a flashback, teaching you the basics of combat, movement, and the such. Really, if you've played any FPS before, you'll know what you're getting into. WASD move, mouse aims, click to go boom. Standard stuff. And yeah, I could go into the story further, explaining who it is you're following and why you are doing so, but that would spoil part of the fun of the game. See, the story plays a pretty huge role in PI for Hire. I mean, it's probably to be expected since you are a private investigator and all, investigating various suspicious incidents around the city. All I'll say is that the plot revolves around corrupt lawmen, back alley thugs, and shrew smuggling. It's up to you to play the game and find out all the details. So gameplay wise, what do? Well, shoot those corrupt lawmen and alley thugs, that's what. Jack starts with a meager pistol, but his arsenal will steadily increase to more dramatic firearms. A shotgun, Tommy gun, cannon, devarnishing rifle, and more are available to you. Most weapons have their uses, but some do feel a bit less than ideal in many situations. The aforementioned cannon acts as the rocket launcher of the game, but it feels like it actually lacks a lot of punch that you'd expect in a heavy weapon. The double-barreled shotgun is fantastic as it can torch enemies, but the ammo is so limited that you'll forget that it's even an option. A freeze ray can sculpt your enemies into blocks of ice, but by the time you get it, the game's nearly over. However, many of these issues can be resolved by upgrading your weapons. By searching the levels, you'll find schematics. At a certain point in the game, one of the main characters opens up a repair shop where these guns can be improved. Almost every weapon can be upgraded 3 times, and each time you'll typically get a larger clip size, a larger maximum ammo pool, and further range. In addition, for the first upgrade, you'll also unlock the secondary fire of the weapon in question. The shotgun can be charged up for a more powerful shot, the pistol turns into a burst fire machine, the Tommy gun sprays and prays like Caleb enjoyed doing in Blood, and the alien ray gun fires a constant stream of energy that makes head popping easier. I tended to prioritize the weapons I use the most, such as the shotgun and the Tommy gun, but if you want easier time, just upgrade the devarnishing rifle. That thing is so overpowered it's not even funny. Firing it at your enemies essentially poisons them, causing lasting damage that will take down most foes within 1 or 2 shots. As for the levels themselves, here's how it works. Jack investigates a case and gets a few clues, which he'll pin on a bulletin board. He'll then figure out where to go next, which opens up 1 or 2 areas on the city map. By leaving the central hub area, Jack enters his vehicle and drives to one of these levels, not unlike how Cuphead worked with the level selection. You enter a level, and now need to go through a semi-linear stage to find more clues, and ultimately the exit. Each of these stages is actually fairly large, with most of them taking roughly 20 to 30 minutes per level to complete. They are also loaded with plenty of secrets, which contain ammo, health, armor, and schematics. And you'll need every bit, because the enemies will constantly bombard you. That's not saying that the game is difficult, though. In fact, I found the game fairly easy, playing it on the normal difficulty setting at least. Enemies typically fall easily if you pop them in the skull, and a good chunk of the foes you'll encounter are melee fighters, opting to get in close and whack you with a stick. Granted, there's a reason you don't bring a knife to a gunfight. Your range will probably save your hide. But if you are struggling, there are various power-ups that can be found and used. Cheese wedges are plentiful, allowing you to press C to gulp down some dairy, increasing your health like a portable health pack. Health drinks are also scattered around each battle arena to regain your lost life during or after a fight. Armor is also preferred, as it does take all of the damage instead of your health. Just remember that for some reason, armor does not carry over between levels. In some of the more troublesome battles, you may also run into the combat power-ups. Hot peppers infuse your shots with fire for a limited time, torching the arena into a mighty inferno. Spinach will be consumed to give yourself a chance in bouts of fisticuffs. And finally, one of my favorites, Jack will sometimes drink some tea, causing him to shoot bullets out of his fingers. It's obviously a Cuphead reference, and I absolutely smiled the first time I encountered this. You also have some other options to defend yourself as well. Jack will slowly learn new abilities, typically used for platforming around the levels, but these can also be used during combat. The catch is that these, as well as evasion dashes and kicks to the face, will consume a chunk of stamina, shown as a gauge. Don't let this deter you from using them though. The stamina never became a problem for me. It's there to prevent you from going overboard on defensive moves and forces you on the offensive, but regardless, it won't be something that you'll really need to keep an eye on. Actually, a lot of the times I forgot that I even had a dash, which you'd think is kind of odd. But that's because for some reason, I found it difficult to truly evade enemy shots. I'd dash and feel like I still took damage. Maybe I'm just terrible at judging distances in a black and white game, but this shouldn't be a problem since the shots fired at you are bright white, making it very obvious that they're coming your way. I don't know why I haven't mentioned this yet, but I did love how the game presented the majority of their gunfights. Here's how it works. You enter a room and see a bunch of doors with skulls above them. These skulls indicate where the enemies are going to spawn from. Once you enter the room, you'll hear a bell not unlike one you hear in a boxing match, and the enemies will begin spawning in. Slay them all, and the bell will ring again, signaling the end of the encounter. It was so unique, and I loved the way it was done. As you are exploring each stage, you'll also find a variety of collectibles. Newspapers that show some of the lore of the world, comics that seem to show a bit of Jack's backstory, and possibly the most useful, baseball cards. These cards can be used in an interesting baseball minigame. I won't go over the full rules as there is a good in-game tutorial for this, but by comparing values on both your card and your opponent's, the game will determine if the batter will hit the ball or strike out. By winning, you get a token which can be used in the bar's vending machine to get a final weapon. I did not do this, as I was apparently terrible at this baseball minigame, but it was fun as a diversion nonetheless. As much fun as I had with the game, I do have a few nitpicks that I want to point out, even though I must admit they are very minor. For one, there's kind of a lack of variety with the enemies. Most of them come down to sniper, guard with gun, guard with bat, animal creature that's fast and bites, annoying flying mice, and tanky brutes that take quite a bit of firepower to take down. At least the boss fights are very varied, and these do bring the challenge level up quite a bit. Without these bosses, I feel like the game could have been considered a cakewalk. Secondly, a map would have been nice. Although you can press M to bring up a path that you should follow, I kinda forgot this existed, and wish the map would have been available so that I could look at my surroundings. Again, it's a very small issue that I encountered, almost to the point that I didn't know if I even wanted to bring it up. Saying that though, I loved Mouse PI for Hire. It's got some great humor, since the world is inhabited by mice, and there's plenty of cheese-related jokes and phrasing. Blue cheese is accurately referred to as sort of a narcotic, and many of the game's actors are hooked on it. There are some great conversations between Jack and the bartender, as well as with some of the game's recurring characters. Troy Baker did a hell of a job voicing Jack, and I caught myself chuckling multiple times. Finally, there are plenty of references to encounter in the game. There's a Resident Evil 2 reference where you find the Tommy gun, with a Welcome Leon banner hanging overhead. Jack mutters, "I live again," when he emerges from a spooky cavern. The Konami code is written in an in-game manual that shows how to use warp pipes. And that's only a few of them. It's part of the fun to explore and find what else the developers referenced. So yeah, Mouse PI for Hire is a wonderful game. The standout visuals, the thematic humor, the simplistic but smooth gameplay, the excellent variety of levels, it all comes together to create a true standout experience. This is a game that I can expect more with, and I would not be surprised to see Netflix or some other streaming outlet pick this up for an animated show, as the potential is here. This is a must-add to your collection, and yes, I do plan on picking up a physical copy on PS5 when it releases. Final score? 7 out of 7. This is Reaper. Happy fragging.